Hey man, welcome back to another vlog. And as you see by the title of this video, we're gonna be working on the rear end of the drift car. We're gonna be reinforcing the rear end of the drift car even more. I talked about my drive shaft rubbing on my shifter, but can you guys see right there? There's a mark on the weight. There's kind of like a ring all the way around, especially on that sticker. You can see it. Now that doesn't shift unless I'm under heavy load, which was what was happening at the track day. At Willow Springs, the layout, I would transition in, and as soon as I would flick over, all that weight transfers over to the right side of the car. And with that going over to the right side of the car, the chassis, the rear end was flexing a lot. And that's why my drive shaft was like bumping up and it was rubbing, which is all bad. I need a table to make the table, but skirt. I ended up contacting Garagistic for their secondary diff mount. Oof, look at that. I ended up opting out for their Durlin option. They have like an 80A and 90A, which is pretty much levels to the stiffness of the bushing itself. A fairly simple install. I always say that and screw myself over, but here we go. Bam. Just everything we're gonna need. We're gonna pop those later. When I was designing this fuel cell, it's a little musty from the track day, I'm sorry. But when I was designing the fuel cell, I made sure to triple, double, quadruple check that if I ever had to service my diff, I would be able to remove my diff bolts without them hitting the fuel cell. Gotta love the smell of diff oil. It smells disgusting. They provide the hardware, everything you need. These are the 2 diff bolts. This is gonna be for the center diff, like bushing bolt, that one. And then the 4 that go to the plate that reinforce it on top. So we're gonna take the 2 out. It doesn't look like they use any washers. Oh yes, they do. Take out the washers. I think this is like dimpled like that, and then I think this goes like this, and this one goes like that. I think this goes like, oh, you're killing the smalls. Alright, cool, let's go. That goes there, and you're done, dude. That's all you gotta do. It's held on through via Bluetooth. Now with the diff bracket installed, if you notice this little rail up here, it's lining up pretty shiesty, pretty straight with that. And so now we're gonna get these brackets. We're gonna put the diff bolt through the bushing, install these, and it's gonna line up these plates to where we're gonna hole punch and then drill through the trunk. I hope these are good camera angles, but we're gonna put one plate through. Oh no, this bolt isn't gonna go through. All right, I'll put it the other way. Man, run a fuel cell, they said. It's so cool, they said. So that goes like this. Oh wait, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. This would be so helpful if I had another person here. Then put the washer in. I looked up the Garagistic video and it said to have friends, and I don't have any. Oh man. And now this bolt and nut turned into 219s, and then we're gonna tighten that. We're gonna have to make sure that these brackets are really straight and touching the chassis up top, and then we're gonna hole punch and drill. But first, let's start tightening this guy right here. Alright, it's getting to that point where it's starting to tighten. So I'm gonna try to line up the bracket straight without getting stuff in my eye. Recommend safety glasses. Alright, don't be like me and get something in your eye, which I totally did. Have your safety glasses or goggles in my case handy, because anyways. Okay, so I left the center bolt kind of loose to where I can still move the brackets. I aligned the brackets to be straight, and sitting flush with like the chassis up here on both sides. And now I'm just gonna hole punch. So try to put this at the center as possible. That's good. Okay, so I've came across one big issue that I'm sure a lot of you are gonna have the same problem. Is all I have is a regular drill and regular drill bits. You somehow need to get like a super longdo extendo drill bit to get into there, but I got an idea to where maybe we can avoid all of this. So the plate is set and we made one hole, so what I'm thinking we could do is off that one hole set up the plate, and then we'll drill the holes on top, and we should be able to line up perfectly to how we need it. I like the idea, it works for me, so I'm gonna send it. Let's do it. All right, that kind of became probably a little bit of, look at that. That probably became a little bit more annoying than it actually had to be, but I ended up getting the holes tapped out to the proper size. Every time I would go through with the drill bit, it would kind of shift on the bottom. So I ended up going under the car. I got the bracket super straight. I tightened the bolt as hard as I can so they won't move. And then I just started blasting holes. I slowly started stepping up in size in slow increments. Started going up with my drill bit set. And then that way, you know, you don't, I don't know. Just, yeah. Yeah, all four went in there. Now I gotta go under the car, put these on, and then figure out how to hold these and tighten it from the bottom by myself. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but yay, 2 new friends. All right, I dropped in all 4 pieces of hardware, and then from under the car, I just slowly put on the nuts, and then I just came in with my handy dandy impact. I didn't even have to hold it from the top. They just ended up tightening, and I'm probably gonna hit this one a little more. Yeah, they're all tightened, they're all good. I thought they were gonna be spinning in place, but I think with the holes being slightly off, that's what's causing like the grip of the bolt and then allowing the nut to tighten. But there you go, man. Now we're just gonna tighten that center bolt and then we should be set. See, the one time I tried to torque down bolts and not use ooga doogas, and you can't even fit a torque wrench under here. So it's supposed to go to 88 foot-pounds. It's kind of like the same foot-pounds as like lug nuts on your car. I'm just gonna end up tightening not as hard as I can, but I'm gonna tighten it fairly tight with my hands, and that should be enough for the center bolt. Okay. And I think I'm just about done. I think the hardest part is tightening those 4 bolts on top. Just trying to like get your hand in there to put on a nut. And then you will need a second person. I got lucky with my fuel cell and I still have this really big hole, and I fit my hand up and over. I stuck a wrench right here and I managed to do it on my own. But if you are doing this by yourself and you still have your trunk intact, you will struggle with this 100%. You can't stick a torque wrench in here unless you take off the axle. Pretty sure the wheel well gets in your way of this slide as well. I don't know, but if you are trying to do this super legit and torque everything properly, I think you have to take off the axle. Don't quote me on that, but it's all in there. It's all set. That was a little quick, easy, painless install. I'm hoping to make a decent video out of this. Garagistic does supply information on how to install their own product, but I know they don't cover all the little stuff that you might be dealing with. But I totally forgot to do an outro for this video. I apologize. This is me like 2 months in the future finally editing this video.
Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and tell your friends, man. Thank you for watching.